Alright, so let's dive right into this story, because it's like something straight out of a heist movie. Only this time, it wasn't actors pulling off the job. A thief impersonated the representative of an NBA player to steal $1.3 million worth of jewelry. And get this, he tried to hide the stolen goods inside his own body. Inside.
Wait, hold up. Inside? Like we're talking swallowed diamonds or what? That's got to be one of the dumbest moves I've ever heard of.
Yeah, exactly. It's bizarre. Medical risks aside, it's not exactly the most secure hiding place. But let me backtrack for a moment. How did this even happen, right? The guy fooled a high-end jewelry store by pretending to be the agent of a wealthy NBA player. No one thought to double-check or verify his identity beforehand, which is an enormous trust issue for transactions at that scale.
Massive failure of protocol, if you ask me. I mean, you're talking millions of dollars in merchandise, and they're not running background or ID checks? That's day one security, straight out of the gate.
Exactly. It really shakes your confidence in these luxury retailers. If even they're leaving gaps wide open, what does that say for smaller businesses handling valuable goods? And here's the thing. It's not just about one thief exploiting the system. Crimes like these create ripples.
Oh, for sure. You pull off one stunt like this, and pretty soon, you've got every con artist thinking they can do the same. It's a copycat magnet, plain and simple.
And that's where technology starts coming into play. There are stores now using advanced facial recognition systems to weed out stuff like this. One store I read about implemented a dual authentication protocol, tying high-value transactions to both biometric data and identification documents. It's a direct response to cases like this one.
Sounds good on paper, but how much do you think they're actually going to invest in tech like that? It's expensive equipment for, well, how often does this kind of heist even happen?
Fair point. It's not every day you hear about someone pulling off a stunt this elaborate, but at the same time, the cost of inaction, financially and reputationally, might be even higher. One bad story like this, and suddenly your customers start questioning how secure your processes are.
Yeah, and in this industry, trust is your bread and butter. Once you lose that, you're done for. No one's going to buy a $50,000 watch if they think your staff's handing high-value goods over to some guy with a fake phone number.
Absolutely. And incidents like these force us to rethink how far we should go with trust in high-value transactions. Are we pivoting toward a future where manual checks just won't cut it anymore? Thinking about what we just discussed, let's take a closer look at this case using a classic SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The thief's ability to pull off this impersonation shows some serious social engineering skills, enough to convince a high-end jewelry store they were an NBA agent. It's a reminder that scammers are constantly evolving, pushing us to reevaluate our defenses.
Yeah, I get that he's clever and all, but where's the store's head in this? I mean, they didn't authenticate anything. No ID check, no verification of credentials, nothing. That's like rolling out the red carpet for criminals.
Exactly. And that lands us squarely in the weaknesses category. No real verification measures. And we're talking about a transaction worth $1.3 million. I mean, shouldn't there have been at least a phone call to, I don't know, confirm who this guy actually was?
Or better yet, scrap the phone calls and go full-on military protocols. Fingerprints, retinal scans, whatever you've got. Layered security, Lucas, layered. Rule of 3, 2 forms of ID and a solid physical check.
That's definitely one way to tighten things up. And interestingly, some stores are already heading in that direction. They're experimenting with biometric tech, facial recognition paired with AI, designed to spot red flags in real time. So it's not just about checking IDs anymore. It's about using predictive tech.
AI, though? I mean, come on. How reliable do you think that is? Get the algorithms even a little off, and suddenly innocent customers are flagged, while some smooth talker gets through anyway.
True. There's always that margin for error. But when you look at the opportunities, AI is unmatched at processing information faster than any human ever could. And there's blockchain too. Imagine tying every high-ticket item to an immutable digital ledger. No fake receipts, no counterfeit claims. Just transparent ownership trails for every transaction.
All right, I'll give you that. Blockchain sounds like a solid idea, but, you're putting a lot of faith in retailers to adopt stuff they barely even understand. Half these stores are stuck in the 90s with their tech budgets.
Fair point. Implementation is still years away for many of them. That's where the threats come in. These gaps in security are an open invitation for more impersonation-based fraud, especially for copycats, inspired by high-profile crimes like this.
Not to mention the legal headaches that come after these incidents. I mean, someone's got to pay the piper at the end of the day.
Building off that, Duke, it's not just the security gaps. There's also the legal fallout. The charges he's facing for fraud are one thing, but it makes you wonder, could this case push lawmakers to crack down harder on impersonation-based scams? Tighten the laws to close those gaps?
It better. You pull off something this outrageous, and lawmakers are going to start rethinking how these crimes are handled. Fraud at this level needs some teeth, Lucas. Serious time, big fines, real deterrence.
Right. But there's the question of proportionality too. Are we veering into overly harsh punishment territory? I mean, sure, he pulled off a big heist, but are extreme sentences the answer, especially for non-violent crimes?
Non-violent? The guy swallowed $1.3 million worth of jewelry. That's reckless and dangerous. Look, you let this guy off easy, and it tells every wannabe criminal out there that high-stakes theft isn't all that risky. Put the hammer down. Send a message.
Fair enough. But there's also the retailer's role here. Should they face some level of accountability? After all, their lack of basic security checks made this whole thing possible. Isn't there a shared responsibility at play?
Shared? Nah, Lucas, it's on them. You're running a multi-million-dollar operation, and you can't take 5 minutes to verify someone's identity? That's pure negligence. They've got to own that failure.
I see your point. But if we're going to hold retailers accountable, shouldn't we also think constructively? This could be an opportunity to revamp industry standards, mandating biometric checks, maybe even centralized fraud prevention systems.
Sure. But saying revamp is easier than making it happen. Luxury retailers are resistant to change. They're stuck, Lucas. They want their business to feel exclusive, not like airport security.
True. And it's a balancing act. How do you improve security without alienating customers? But at the same time, stories like this make clear. Trust is fragile. If retailers don't evolve, they'll pay for it. Not just financially, but reputationally.
Exactly. And when it all boils down, securing high-value transactions is about trust and discipline. You can't cut corners in this field, period.
Absolutely. And on that note, it's clear there's no easy answer to the challenges raised by this case, legal, ethical, or otherwise. But these discussions keep driving us forward, forcing industries to adapt and improve. Duke, your insights, as always, have been invaluable.
Same here, Lucas. Good talk today. And for everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Take care, everyone.